So Satoru is back in the future, but this time in not the same way you would think. Once again, we jump to a new direction for the series, now back in the future, but this time having Satoru be in a coma for the past 15 years. It is interesting because we've never seen how he lives from the car being put in the lake from the last episode, but it's insinuated that the teacher went back to save him possibly. Either way, for the next 15 years from that point, his mother is forced to take care of him until he wakes up from the coma. For the most part of the episode, we are spent at the hospital as Satoru's friends show up to support him, and he even begins to gain his health back. We see that Hinazuki is now married and with a child, and most of the people haven't forgotten about him, even the press, who are sneaking around trying to get a story out of him in some way. But while at the hospital, he runs into Mr. Yashiro, who is his homeroom teacher from 15 years ago. Unfortunately, he doesn't remember anything from his past, including the previous timeline, and I would even assume that any future self of him is also forgotten as well. There are little things in this episode that I like, and especially how now he talks in his mind as if he was still the 5th grader from before, even though he's now in his late 20s, and how his mother was able to take care of him for such a long time, and even how Hinazuki and most of his friends were able to escape and be protected, even though he ended up disappearing for the most part. When his teacher shows up though, it became very clear that he was only there to either kill him or to make sure that he doesn't remember anything going forward. This leads him to taking Satoru to the roof with what you can obviously assume what he's planning to do, but the episode ends up kind of pulling off a twist at the end where Satoru actually remembers everything and even tells Yashihiro when he gets up there to the roof. I like the idea of having Satoru grow up in a new world now that's much different from the previous timelines, but I wish he had his memories right out of the gate. If that were the case, most of the episode could have been him trying to gather his friends for one more mission essentially. Now that Yashihiro is a politician, they could have taken the chance to pull up a moment where he's finally exposed to maybe work together to stop him, or maybe they could do that in the finale still, but I'm sure it won't be as exciting. Normally the episode before the finale tries to build up to a moment that you don't really see coming and takes you for a turn for the finale, but with this show I've already have a feeling that I know where this finale is going to go and how this series is going to end. I guess we'll have to wait and see until next week. So anyways, what do you think of this episode? I am interested in the finale, but I am a little cautious because from what I'm hearing, the actual manga goes on a bit longer, and apparently they cut and jump from places from the manga now, so it's going to be interesting how they handle it all in such a short time. And anyways, leave a like on this video, and thanks for watching, and share it around if you can, and see you next week on the finale of Erased.